It had been 3 months since Anna died, and I still hadn't deleted her number. Not out of hope, just habit. I'd scroll past it in my contacts, pause, then keep going. I couldn't bring myself to let it go. Her name still popped up sometimes when I typed, to call anyone. Like she was still there waiting. That night, I was alone in my apartment, eating reheated pasta in front of a muted TV when my phone buzzed. One new voicemail, Anna. I froze. My heart stuttered in my chest. It had to be a glitch. Maybe I'd saved one without realizing. But the timestamp said today. Just after 5 p.m. Right when I was getting home. My thumb hovered over the play button. I hesitated. Then, against every logical instinct, I tapped play. Her voice came through, soft, broken, but unmistakably hers. You forgot to close the window. The message ended in static. I stared at the phone, unmoving. My thumb hovered like I might rewind it, as if hearing it again would make it less real. I hadn't heard that voice in months. Not in dreams, not in memory, not in any way that felt alive. I stood up slowly, pulse pounding in my ears. The window in the kitchen. I hadn't opened it today. Had I? I stepped into the room, heart hammering. It was open. Wide. The curtains fluttered with the night breeze. Cold air seeped in, smelling of rain. I hadn't opened that window. And I was sure, absolutely sure, I had locked it yesterday. Something had been here. Something that knew her voice. I barely slept that night. Every creak, every groan of the apartment made me flinch. I locked the window. Double-checked the door. Left a light on in the hallway like a kid scared of the dark. By morning, I'd almost convinced myself it was a cruel coincidence. Maybe the message had been a draft, a recording I'd forgotten. Until 8:43 a.m. One new voicemail, Anna. My stomach twisted. This one was clearer. Still distant, like it came through water, but there was no mistaking it. Don't take your usual route to work today, she said softly. There's going to be a wreck. 3 cars. One won't walk away. I sat frozen. Against everything I believed, I listened. I took the long way to the office. An hour later, I got the news alert. She was right. After that, I stopped questioning it. The voice was Anna's. Not a memory. Not a glitch. Something else. The next messages came slowly, days apart at first. Each one more personal. She spoke of places only we had been, phrases only she used. A secret nickname she once whispered into my neck when the world felt safe. I started saving every voicemail, playing them late at night, searching her tone for warmth, for clues, for something alive. One message ended with a pause, and then her whisper, "You're not alone." I looked around my empty apartment. I wanted to believe she was watching over me, that she hadn't moved on. But sometimes it felt less like comfort, and more like surveillance, like something was studying me, learning me, through her voice. I stopped sleeping altogether. My phone never left my side. I charged it obsessively, afraid I'd miss something. Her voice became my ritual, coffee voicemail replay. Then came a message, unlike the others. Go to the lake. Just that. No explanation. Her tone was urgent, almost strained. The lake. The one where she died. I hadn't returned since the accident. Couldn't even bring myself to say its name. But now I was driving toward it, hands shaking on the wheel, phone in the passenger seat like a guide. The road narrowed. Trees leaned in. I could feel something tightening in my chest. As I parked, another message arrived. I left something there. It's yours now. The screen flickered. I stepped out into the cold air, haunted by the echo of her last breath. The lake was quiet. Too quiet. No birdsong, no wind. Just the slow, steady drip of water against the rocks. I walked to the edge, gravel crunching under my shoes. That's where her car had been found, half submerged, shattered like porcelain. The railing above still bent, rusted and forgotten. Something caught the light. Half buried in the mud near the shore, a silver locket. Hers. I knelt, hands trembling, and picked it up. Inside, a picture of us. Water damaged, but intact. My phone buzzed in my pocket. One new voicemail, Anna. You're almost ready, she said, calm now. You're starting to remember. I clutched the locket to my chest. But remember what? Something wasn't right. Something was building. Waiting. That night, the final message came. Don't close your eyes, she said. Not tonight. Her voice was different, closer, urgent, as if she were in the room with me. I locked every door, covered the mirrors, left all the lights on. I set up my phone to record everything. If this was it, I needed proof. At 2:17 a.m., the power died. Total darkness. The phone stayed on, its screen dim and flickering. A faint hum rose from the speaker. Then her voice. Not recorded, live. "I can see you," she whispered. "They're almost here." My breath caught. The air thickened. The room shifted. Shadows moved where there were no lights. And behind me, footsteps. Slow. Wet. Coming closer. Morning came like a weight lifting. I was alive. The phone buzzed once more, one last message. Silence. No voice. No sound. Just a blank recording. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Had I survived? Or was this